I'm a few weeks from becoming a dad, which is just crazy. I mean, all my life, I've just been responsible for myself. But here in a few weeks, me and my wife are going to be responsible for this little girl, which is just insane. Just like most people, I live a pretty busy life. Between work, school, this YouTube channel, and trying to stay in shape, I need to make sure everything's in order starting at the beginning of the day when my alarm goes off at 4 a.m. Except it doesn't just go off. I've got some home automation set up to really make sure I get out of bed. First, I always wear this Apple Watch to bed for more reasons that we'll talk about later, but it has an alarm go off at 4 a.m. and it's not a super loud noise, it actually just vibrates on my wrist, which I really like. Then something that also helps me get up is I have a smart home automation set to slowly turn my lights on, taking 5 minutes to go from 0% to 100%. This honestly has helped me get out of bed, and I really like having this feature set up, but it did take a lot of work. In the Shortcuts app, add a new shortcut. Find Control Home and select the light. Have it turn on to 1%, then find Wait and have it wait 3 seconds. Duplicate the action, then change it to 2% and wait another 3 seconds. I did this till the lights got all the way to 100% and it took a long time. I'm sure there's a better way, so if you know of a better way, please comment below. Once I'm out of bed, it's time for a quick workout, because I always want to be in shape for my new baby. I want to be able to take her to the park or fun places like that, but I am learning that recovery is super important. So I've started keeping track using my Apple Watch and some of the recovery features it has, which for a while I just figured if I wake up and I'm tired, I'll know if I'm recovered or not. But after doing some research, that might not actually be true. When you do things like sleep, a breathe session, or when your watch just detects very little movement, it'll measure something called heart rate variability. Basically, let's say your heart rate is 60 beats per minute. It's not actually beating exactly every second. It'll be 1.1 seconds or 0.9 seconds, then maybe 1 second exactly. This is obviously something you can't just track in your head. You need something like an Apple Watch, and this is one of the best ways to tell if you're actually recovered or not. So while it's still quiet, dark outside, and no one's gonna be texting me, I head downstairs to the gym.
Now move your body, it's just a beat.
Something cool about these AirPods is they're the new AirPods Pros, which actually has a heart rate sensor built inside of them. So now while I'm working out, both my Apple Watch and my AirPods track my heart rate. That way I can make sure I'm getting the best heart rate tracking. Between my Apple Watch and my AirPods, I can actually tell if I'm really pushing myself or just telling myself I am, because I know what heart rate I usually am at. Now I have all this heart rate data and I'm able to look back on my heart rate and see that most of the time when my heart rate's a little higher than normal, it's probably because I'm stressed and I need to take a little breather. And if my recovery score is bad, it's most likely because I'm not sleeping enough, which I can just check in my sleep history. It takes the guesswork out, which is good because I started to be really intentional about things like my sleep. Before I was wearing an Apple Watch at night, I was really just living off of energy drinks, which turned out to not be so good for me. So now I track my sleep very well and I know exactly how to fix when I'm tired that day. You see, while you sleep, your Apple Watch takes all sorts of data. Then in the morning, it'll tell it to you. In fact, Apple Watches have been telling people that they're sick before they even know it. And people have been noticing that sometimes they'll see an outlier and then in a few days they get sick. And it's becoming kind of a pattern, which I think is pretty cool. Getting up early and working out every morning has become less about the way that I look and aesthetics and more about being able to move without pain for as long as I possibly can. It burns off stress, lowers my resting heart rate, and makes my brain clearer before work. By the time I leave for work at 5:15, I've already done something hard, which I think is pretty cool. But what else is cool is now that it's time for work, my Apple devices change completely with focus modes. In settings, you can go to focus modes and add a focus mode. Then you can select specific home screens, lock screens, select who can or cannot contact you during this focus mode, and so much more. This can be scheduled based on things like time, location, and tons more. This is awesome because I can kind of hide apps that shouldn't be on at work or show apps that I'll use during my creative focus, which comes right on after I get home from work. During the next 2 hours of my day, I've got time set aside for my school and this YouTube channel. But I get distracted super easy, so I've scheduled the downtime in the screen time settings. Downtime's pretty simple. You go into settings, then find screen time, and you'll see downtime. Now you just set up a schedule. Like for me, I have it set so every day from 4 to 6, it shuts off most of my apps. To select which apps to stay on, you go to the always allowed section in your screen time settings, then select your apps there. Once 6 p.m. hits, that's time I spend with my wife and one day my new baby girl. But it's also a good time to check my rings on my Apple Watch. Activity rings are pretty self-explanatory. You got move, exercise, and stand. Move tracks your movement throughout the day. Exercise tracks your more active movements, like a workout or a nice walk. And stand tracks every hour that you've gotten up and just moved around in that hour. You don't have to move the whole hour to get an hour towards your stand goal. You just have to move for 1 minute in that hour, and then you get 1 hour of stand. I like to look at these and make sure I'm moving enough throughout the day. And if I'm not, maybe we can go on a walk or to the park or something. Of course, a lazy day is totally fine every so often, but I think all of us should be moving quite a bit throughout the day to help keep us healthy. I'm not flexible at all. Like, it's almost hard for me to touch my knees. So I've been trying to stretch a little bit every night before I go to bed. I honestly hate stretching, so I definitely don't always do it. But I do wish maybe I could replace it with something like the mindfulness app. This lets you do all sorts of breathing exercises and things that, well, personally I've never really gotten into. But I do think it's worth mentioning because I feel like a lot of people, especially people that are close to my age, really find these things helpful. In the app, you can do things like log how you're feeling so you can track patterns. Then there's 2 little 1-minute long activities you can do. You can do a reflect, which helps you look back on maybe your day or week or things like that. Then there's breathe, which will take all sorts of measurements of your body and guide you through a breathing exercise, which maybe will help you if you have anxiety or just need to take a minute. And even beyond that, in the mental health side of things, there's the journal app. I actually think if I was someone to journal, I'd use this app a lot. It lets you write things down, of course, but you can also add a state of mind, add pictures, workout stats, and so much more. There's even a really cool suggested section in the journal app to help you remember things you did throughout the day. I honestly probably should start ending my day with the journal app. It'd be fun to have all these memories of my fast-moving life saved.